I'm trying to get the people in, then we'll.
Okay. I'm just making a cup of coffee.
Good, good. I'm also have coffee here. I have to take it still. Okay. Okay. Ready? Okay. Melissa is here. Dharani is here. Janet is here. Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Rao. I hope you are all doing well. And Melissa, uh, welcome. Janet, welcome. And Dharani, welcome. And everybody on the other channels, welcome. So this is a topic that a lot of people consult me asking for, simple solutions so that they can really look glowing and good. I'm all about inner beauty. So I really think if you can understand what is that and then get it out, what you already have, that will give glow to any face, right? But there is also physical muscles, fascia, skin, and all that, and the aging changes. You can gracefully age. That's fine. But then who you are inside comes out. Okay, but I will give you my idea about facial yoga and how it is incorporated into a holistic plan and how to take care of the muscles, fascia, and also the skin itself. It's a comprehensive thing, right? And then we will go into what is the inner things I'm talking about. How can you be smiling inside and then that is reflecting outward? It all becomes how we are conditioned, how we are brought into something like that, by the culture, by the education, by the family, and all that, right? A lot of girls become really mm, uh, very focused on that, and then that becomes a problem for them too. So I have seen people really go down by how they appear, how they understand, how they are really looking at us, So that kind of thing. So you guys have any questions to start with? Anybody wants to say? Melissa, you? What do you think? I'm not putting you in the spot, just to start the conversation. So.
I don't know if my audio is working.
Yeah, it is working. It's working. I can
okay.
hear.
I didn't know if you could hear me.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, like, when you're talking about facial muscles, facial yoga, you're talking about like controlling those face muscles and like the ones we use for
Yeah,
smiling and letting your smile come from the inside as opposed to just the
yeah,
muscles in your face. Is that what
yeah.
you were saying?
Yeah, facial yoga itself, like ordinary yoga, where you do your, hands and limbs moving around, and then spine twisting around. All those things are there, but that's only part of the yoga too, right? We want to develop calmness and quietness, and then also we want to develop more like a uh, stability, and we want to develop health in the spine and the brain and all that, right? So breathing, all that makes us metabolically better and all that. Like that, facial yoga has some physical complementarity, but also understanding how the whole face is structured anatomically, and then physiologically, and what happens with age, and what are the drags people have, and the neck platysma is not good, all that, but apart from that, how a person you are. Suppose somebody says something, you get hurt immediately, it will show on your face, right? But if you understand those in small things that I'm going to show you, and that will make you much, much better organized holistically. We're not just going to look at only the facial shape, facial muscles. We will look at that, but the my kind of yoga is always inner, how your emotions are, how your mental state is. That is the obviously the suffering for the human beings, right? They may have the best space features, they may have the best care with the cosmetics and all that, but then if they are like kind of very narrow-minded, very jealous, very angry, like that, that will come through, right? So we kind of look at that. We maybe get attracted to somebody's facial beauty itself, but once they show their colors from inside, we don't see the same person. You know what I mean? That.
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. So like I come here, I want to reap money from these people, and want to get them and all that. How does that look? Or I'm coming, okay, let me talk to my friends and then share what I know and help them with some things. How does that look? Right? That's the kind of thing. You see, it is our inner connection, how we are, what we are doing. Hi, Manini, yes, welcome. So a lot of people don't pay attention to these subtle, intricate things that you could do. For example, if I teach you, don't cling. Melissa, something happened yesterday. Some kid came to you and he was very rude to you. You are the teacher, and and then you immediately take it to your heart, then you sleep on it, you seethe with it, and you come out and say, "Oh, how dare he is, he's just after all a student, he's supposed to you know listen to me, and he's doing, I'm not saying you're doing that myself, I'm just giving an example. We do the same thing at the home too. Our kids may do something, or our loved ones may do some things and all that, then we cling on to them. So in that way, how are your emotions? How are you getting out? You see, there are some people that you go around them, they're always very pleasant, very nice, very accommodating to whatever the situation is. In their presence, you feel so relaxed, so accepted, so embraced. So really, they're not showing anything prejudice against you. That kind of unconditional acceptance, we call it love. Only certain people are capable of that. Like generally, we want to love our family, our friends, our known, and all rest of the people. We are not. Suppose something happens a far corner of the world, how do we react? So all these things are important. So what is your inner state? Are you aware of it? What is your relationship to yourself, to the world, to everybody, and how do you respond? That's the most important. How you react to people. Okay. So if I can show you how the inner cleaning of these things, they will they will be coming through your face. Suppose you are peaceful, serene, smiling, and really not reacting negatively, even if you do something dastardly to them. And say, oh yeah, this person is something else. You get your anger will go down, and naturally, generally, your anger will go down, and your resentment will go down because they won you over with a smile. Right, Money? Money smiles all the time. That's why I was talking to her.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. It's wonderful. Hope you are doing well. Good morning for you.
How do I look? Okay.
Amazing. Always charming.
That's what we want to bring it out. How we are inside will get it out. So I will go through the facial yoga in the traditional way, where we can really understand what it is that you can do daily, and also how you can make a complex out of it, like you are focused on looking good physically, right? And you think people will be attracted to that, or you're born with a beautiful place to begin with. There is beauty in that face, but then that beauty becomes your importance for you, and you develop an image based on that. Then that becomes a problem when something happens to the face, like an accident, like a some kind of illness or something other. So we used to see these kids in India when they were having the smallpox or chickenpox. A smallpox, especially chickenpox, will go away, but smallpox comes and attacks the face, and then it heals with a scar. So these kids are left with all scars all over the face. You know, so a lot of people tease them. A lot of people make them feel conscious about their face, and they build an image that they are not good enough, right? That kind of inferiority complex also you can develop. Film stars, for example, they are worshipped when they were young, and they presented a beautiful face and all that, and they spend a lot of money to maintain that, and at the end of it, they kind of age will catch up, and they do all sorts of things. One of them they do is the facial yoga, because just like our body to keep healthy and supple, rippled muscles and all that, you can use yoga for that. But is that all you are? That's only physical body, and beyond that, they look at what kind of person you are, what kind of knowledge you have, what kind of things you bring to the work, the qualities. Suppose you are perseverance, you are cooperative, you are kind of helping everybody who are working around you. How does that feel, right? So let's go step by step. Anybody has experience with the facial yoga here? Manini, Dharni, Melissa, Janet, anybody? Janet also, she could have done it when she was young, right? Anybody? Tell me a little bit about that.
No, sir. No. Just we used to I just rub a oil, natural oil, and just give a massage kind of.
Okay, that's good. So when we talk about the physical yoga itself, we want to understand the musculature of the face and the fascia that is around the muscles, and also the skin itself, right? Everybody focuses on the skin, but skin becomes taut and nice when it has good blood supply, good lymphatic drainage, and all that. That's why you want to understand. Basically, anatomically, we understand there is this occipitofrontalis muscle on the on the forehead, right? They come and insert here. The muscle is like this on the scalp. That you can move by raising your eyebrows and doing that. So that is one exercise you do with the frontalis muscle, right? Occipitofrontalis. And then around the eye, auricular oris. That is the muscle that is there, and that you can do by eyeball exercises, and also rubbing the both hands and then push them. And I will go through the exercise with you. But let me describe the muscles first. And then there is orbicular oris around the mouth with the lips and everything, right? And also there are facial of the maxillary muscles here, and also platysma of the neck, and also zygomatic muscles that kind of important for you to neck and all that. So these are the major muscle groups. I can go through each one. There will be a lot more, but generally you first I will show you the exercises now that you do in facial yoga. No? First you do the movement, then you do the massage with hands with certain lines, because the meridian lines they really help you a lot. Okay, and we could do a number of various kinds of things, but we'll do only major 4 or 5, and then understand how to keep that fascia really taut and neat, and how to keep the muscle kind of toned, and also doesn't accumulate a lot of fat and all that. And then also you understand what is how to rub the skin in what particular way. That way it is easier for you. You can do the oil, that's fine, but then if you do it certain way, you have maximum benefit. Okay, those are the things that they mastered over the centuries and came up with those exercises. Okay, I don't do it, but I teach them. I don't do it. But one thing I do is I try to do the voice, and also because I'm a speaker, and I don't want my voice to be affected. I kind of be on that. But otherwise, I don't care about how I am looking. Facial wise, not like a girl and all that. But I more like a if I'm happy, I'm sure I'm okay. That's all I could. What is I'm projecting. That's what I always focus on. Okay, so first in the morning when you get up, first go and wash your face clearly, nice. Okay, and then start with the deep breathing like normally I do, and then you can sit in front of a mirror with smile and look at yourself, and start to looking up and down, up and down, like 10 times you do that. That makes this muscle go up and then come down. So if you are having a lot of furrows here, that is what happens with the aging, is a lot of people have these furrows. These are exaggerated if you kind of keep it like this all the time. Both kind of eyes together, and you're questioning, you're talking to the kid, what are you doing? And then you do that habitually. If you do it so many times, they become more permanent. The furrows, the wrinkles, right? Is that clear? So,
Yes.
so when we are angry, Janet, or when we are like kind of focusing on people and all that, we do that. So being aware of that, then it is relaxed. Okay, exercise, aware of what is exacerbates the wrinkles, and what to be aware of. So ultimately, it comes down to awareness. Okay, how you are, what you are doing, what are your modes, or how that hands on that. Okay, so don't scream, don't shout a lot of time, and don't be unaware of your kind of squinting, right? That's not good at all. Money, is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so don't shout at Puri and then keep your eyes like
I do
that.
sometimes.
No, I'm just kidding. I am sure you're aware of that. So these are the things that we miss when we are dealing with other people. Women, we don't know the emotions that I have, how effective they have on our body with the hormones, and also with the face, especially when you are focusing on the face. So that is the first muscle. Frontalis, that is occipital frontalis, that just comes up. So best thing is for that, up and down, that will be good. Okay, and then when you come to the eyes, so you can do the eye exercises to the one side, other side, and then up and down, and also rotating them, and rotating both ways. Okay, let's do that. Look at straight at somebody, and then slowly move your eyes towards one side as though you have a line there and you're following the line all the way to the edge. And then stop there and then come back slowly to the center. Don't go to the other side right away. First come to the center, and then from the center go to the other side, and then come back to the middle. So these kind of slow exercises of there are six muscles suspending the eyeball. Okay, trochlear and oblique, four trochlear and then two oblique muscles. Right, they all exercise with these movements. Then you want to move the eyes to the left upper corner and imagine a straight line going across tangentially to the right lower part. Come and then go again all the way up and then go down. Do the same thing on the other side too. Go up to the right upper corner, come back tangentially to the left lower corner. So that you do few times like that. And then you imagine a big circle in front of you. And then start at the lower part of the circle and follow the circumference all the way up, go towards the left side and come down. Okay, I'm briefly describing these exercises. You can do them each one like a up and down, side to side, corners, and going the rounds and all that both ways, like a, maybe 10 times each. Is that clear?
Very.
Yeah. So that's something you could do every day. These are the physical exercises. They won't allow the fascia to be taut, to accumulate, so that you have the suppleness of those muscles. They are taut, tight. Okay. So once you do the physical exercise for the major muscle groups of frontalis, orbicularis, and also the mouth obviously you can do them, right? You can blow air, and then you can also having the air and then put it both sides like that. That will be very good. And also project in both as though you are doing this all the time. That will be very good. That is for the mouth. There are so many other. I don't want to show all of them in this hour, but then there's so many there. And then this major muscle, neck, is called platysma. That is the one which gives away the age lots of times, because people neglect that, right? So what you do is you kind of pick them up, this muscle, you project, that's it. Then you can feel that tightness. This one you have to focus though. If you really don't want to neglect that, you got to do it maybe 2 or 3 times a day, few times. Okay. If you do that when you are really young, that tightness will be preserved for longer time. This is a muscle you want to focus on. Okay. Otherwise, all the subcutaneous fat will go and the muscle, yeah, because not that much use. But if you do that, you can clench your teeth and then pick it up, and that will be good enough. Okay, then it will be fine. Okay, this is about exercising the muscles. Do you want me to do them, or are you clear? You go to do it on your own time.
Let's do it.
Okay. So sit straight. Always keep your spine straight. Don't be in the bed and all that. And then um, keep the spine off the chair so that you are not lying in the chair either. And then look straight and then look up. That is for the frontalis muscle. Look up all the way and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now slowly come down, come down, come down, and look down. And stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that, you do several times. Taking the time, counting the breaths, and staying there. The longer you stay there, the better it is. the tightness that is beginning to form, especially if you are in an argument, if you are in emotional exchange and all that, you form those furrows in the say, they will be there much more if you really are always irritated, always annoyed, and then that shows on your face. Okay, so understand those emotional states, how they cause reciprocal physical changes on our face. Okay, that is my main message, though, as a yogi, as somebody who lives in all the time in the awareness. That is my message. Be aware of what's going on within your heart, within your mind. If you have negative thinking about people, or if you see politicians on the screen and then you get repulsed by them, they are fine, but we get affected. So not worth it. Don't spend your time on this, because we feel like that, right? So don't be reactive like that. So be aware of that if you want your facial beauty to be preserved. Okay, and then second thing what we're doing is this one we will do very very correctly. What it is if you want the eyes really focused and also really tight with your orbicular horizon, all that, imagine, or you can just put your thumb straight up front like this. Can you see me? Can you see me doing that? Right? And then focus on the thumb just like that. Don't move away from it. Stay there for a few breaths. Don't blink as much as possible. This is called Trataka. Trataka, Trataka. That is helps not only with your vision, with your muscles of that are carrying the lens, so cataracts are helped, but also lubrication of the eyes happen because you're steering it continuously. Your eyes will lubricate, and that acts as a cathartic. Okay, so a lot of people feel much better after they have a good cry if they're feeling very bad inside. But without crying, you can clean up this lacrimal gland and all that much better. Then the eyes will have the luster, right? Because eyes are the most expressive for us. What we are comes through the eyes. How you look at somebody is important, and how you look at what is the seer within you that is appreciating things through the eyes. There is drishya, that is the picture outside scenery, right? And the one who is seeing it, and the medium through which you see. Okay, this is a big philosophical thing. If you go that way, who is the seer? Are the eyes seeing or getting the impulse? The impulse going to the brain, and the brain seeing, or the your inner core of you, who you are, is really appreciating that. See, because you have a no connection between the what you see and who is seeing it, you get distorted. Suppose I'm looking at my friend Melissa, I have an impression about her, and I'm seeing her through my impression, not what she is right now, right? So if I just drop my image, then I'm in touch with who she is right now. We're having conversation. For example, I have an impression of she could be argumentative with me. She was not, but she was. But I'm just saying. And then I will say, oh, this girl is going to argue with me. And then I'm colored by my own opinion. But that opinion is gone. That Melissa is gone. What I see Melissa here now is, I hope you don't mind, right, Melissa? I'm just using you.
Yeah.
Not, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm just saying, then I may come to eagerly with Melissa because she is my friend. And she will make me compliments, and she will agree with me. That is also prejudice, right? I'm not meeting her as she is right now. Understand this. This will improve your relationship leaps and bounds, especially with the loved ones. Because for example, I do this too. I see my wife, I have my own prejudices about her, about my own opinions. They may be justified or not, but I still have that. So when I come to her with that later, then I'm missing her as she is now.
Mm.
So this is a practice for me, for you, and everybody. So I'm not saying I'm above all that, but then my thing is I immediately recover. If I get irritated, if I say something and all that, I immediately get recovered. So I will be normal next moment. Carrying that is the problem. Unaware of that impression is power. So if you look at somebody with serene, kind eyes, you can be kind with your eyes, right? And then you can be showing your appreciation, liking, love for the other person through the eyes. Right? A lot of people can see your eyes and they feel like really what do you say, more like relaxed because they're kind of doing that, right? So it is a question of understanding how our inner core, inner self comes through our eyes, and that is important in facial yoga because the exercise of awareness. Where am I going? What is happening? What kind of thoughts coming, and am I carrying away by that? By having that kind of awareness, your thoughts of negativity will go down, and or if you have a negative thought, you will change it into positive. Right? Is that clear? Or that
I
is?
have a question, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to be completely honest here. I do sometimes have prejudices with people. So, how do you not carry those prejudices? Like, if like there's an injustice
Yeah.
that you feel has happened, how do you like not carry
Yeah.
that into your present moment with that person?
Excellent question, because I am embedded in that oneness. I used to feel like Melissa is separate, Dharni is separate, and all this. But then that is about our bodies, our minds, our physical thing, and all that. But in that inner core of life force, we all have the same life force. I try to relate to that being. That's why women can come in front of me, but I don't look at them as an object of body, but I look at the subjective being, which is me too. That's why when any bridge they drop off, because I'm coming back to what is common for both of us. Say if I hang on to them, then I will separate myself from you. But if I hang on to the what is common between you and me, it is the consciousness, which is the life. There we all have that, you know. But the only thing is we kind of attach to the body or the mind. That's why we identify with them. You see, persona versus presence. Remember this, Melissa, you will understood everything. Don't go for the persona. So suppose I am related to the persona means Melissa, the name, what it represents, what it means. She is a teacher. She is a friend of mine. She understands this and all that. That is persona. But I don't go for the persona. I go for the presence of you. So once you are entered in the presence, that means you have discarded the past, you are not going to the future, you are staying here and now. Then what happens? Each moment is new, completely aware, not tainted by the past, not tainted by the future, but here and now. That means somebody comes in, what is the disposition? How are they emoting? How are they talking to me? So I want to be in the present. I don't want to bring in any prejudice, is nothing but something that is not there, but we're harboring in there. Remember that. Be in the presence. with your own presence, with the other person's presence, but not persona. The moment you go into persona, you calculate, you kind of get into that kind of yeah, evaluating mind, and that we don't want to be. See, either you are in the present anytime or in the mind. In the mind means in the past or the future. I think you got that. You told me before, I showed you that, and you got hold of that. Now, mind becomes a powerful tool that is a slave for me. Because normally what happens, mind unconsciously influences us. We are unconscious about it and we get carried on. But now your mind is under control, your senses are under control, you are relating from your heart. Very healing for you, leave alone another person. Excellent question. This we do all the time because we're unaware, right? So everything comes back to awareness. What do you say, Janet?
Yeah, I I'm just thinking about. I don't know if this is exactly what you're talking about, but I talked to you yesterday about my daughter that's mentally ill that lives next door.
Yeah.
And you made some suggestions about basically staying aware and being in the present moment and dealing with her in a different way.
Yeah.
And yesterday she started yelling and screaming, and I just went over and said, I want you to have a good day today.
Mm.
And I love you.
Yeah.
And I need you to come over and spend some time with me today. And I hope you can do that. She smiled real big, and she went and changed her clothes and came on over, and she did good. So
See?
it worked. It worked.
See, you did not react. You had responded to the situation.
I responded, and that's just what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Is responding to people rather than reacting to
Yeah.
them. And I have a resting face that is not beautiful.
Mm.
I do not naturally smile with my mouth. I do naturally smile with my eyes.
Yeah.
So, I'd like for you to say more about how to bring that smile from my eyes to my mouth, because
Yeah.
I sit with a frown on my face all the time, and it really bothers me.
Yeah.
They have a name for it. I'm not going to say it, but they have a name for that.
Yeah. It's a question of you are aware of it. That's the good part about it. See,
Yeah.
you are aware and they are not egotistical to express in the good. This is one thing I want everybody to understand. I always invite people, including myself. Including myself. What it is you want to be in the moment, in the sense you don't want to carry anything from before and now, right?
Right.
And so, but you can think about something, and when you are not thinking about, you smile. Observe closely. When you are smiling, your mind frozen. Try that, like that. Smile at somebody, and then see at that moment you have no thought. So that's why frequently smile at yourself, at things, or look at a flower, bring on a smile. Then it becomes a habit. And then the more habit you have, the better, the more moments of stillness you have. You can start like this, okay? Get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, look at the mirror, and laugh at yourself. The laughter yoga works like this. You can start from the not able to laugh really, and then you generate the wave of laughter, and that takes over of the movement, and that like a dance. It induces some parts of you to be relaxed and to be easy. And the more you laugh, ha 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 ha, that looks mechanical in the beginning, but then it builds on itself. The very act of physically doing that. You guys want to do that?
I do laugh a lot.
Unmute all of you and then laugh with me. Okay? Melissa, Manini, Janet. Janet is already unmuted. Anybody else? Sharmi, just unmute that. I'm going to put you in embrace today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, unmute.
Yeah,
Unmute. Yeah, unmute, and then if you want to be on camera, that's much
And
better.
this is like today it's gonna be laughing class.
Yeah, yeah. You can laugh. I like your smile, money. Anyway, Okay, let's laugh. Ha 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 ha
Yeah.
ha 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 ha. See, that very act induces. You feel ridiculous, but then still that taking yourself easy, enjoying the moment, and then actually this is a physiological mechanism that builds on itself. There is so much chemistry in there, but good chemistry. Okay, so start doing that in the morning, because you wake up with a lot of unnecessary stuff in your mind. That's why I always invite people to sit down at the edge of the bed and take 10 deep breaths and bring yourself to the presence. Right? That's a very important thing, everything we do. So, especially if you want to improve the glow on your face, you got to really feel the love you have. Even for this, it could be parochial, like you love your wife, your husband, your kid. That's okay, fine. Bring that out. Think of that in such a way. But usually we think of what they did wrong. Even me, everybody will do that. But how to get out of it? That is what I learned. Right? But eventually, it so happens that these are not worth to feel like that. So you become a go easy, happy-go-lucky person. You see how we like the happy-go-lucky person? Because they don't hold on anything, they don't badger you, they don't torture you with things and all that. Any of the here, any wives who are really resenting husbands and then sulking on him all the time? If anybody is there, don't have to tell me, don't do that. For your own sake. Right? There's something, when I ask questions like this, if you have an ego, you will take it personal. If you don't have ego, you will see the fact and the truth and then rectify. That's why these things are brought out, not to make you feel bad about it. That's why I always ask people, park your ego at the door before I come to the room. Right? This is common for the doctors because they fight tooth and nail because they have big egos. Oh, I am such a big revenue maker. I have so much of name. I do surgery so well and all that, right? But when you come to run the hospital, we want input from all the departments and cooperation from all the departments, and also equitable for all of them. But then the orthopedic will come and say, if I don't bring this business, your hospital won't be here. So he wants to run everything according to his convenience. And that kind of big egos are fighting now. Hospitals are trying to really hire people who are going beyond this and encouraging people to be more heartful, more understanding, more, really coping with everybody, and not bringing this side of the persona, which is egotistical, type A personality and want to rule by doing. So look at the president of the Ukraine was kind of taken down with the ego of these people. So whoever saw that, immediately they said, why do I have to do that? We can say we don't want to help you, we want to help you, that's fine. But why do you have to? This is what happens in our boardrooms. People shrug other people down because just because they are not controlling their emotion. But this is can come as ugly face. We know that, right? And we are really angry and screaming at somebody. If somebody makes a video, show it to us, then we will say, yeah, am I looking like that when I'm angry? People don't realize that. So if you go to a spiritual person, usually you feel relaxed because they are smiling from within. They are trying to inculcate the love they have for everybody without expecting anything in return. That is healing for him and healing for us also. What do you say, Melissa, about that?
I love that idea. And I think that kind of goes back to what the question that I asked you, because we have that love inside of us. And I think that if we are in that present moment awareness and thinking, like you said, about how we share a life force and we're all the same, that it does allow you to take that love that you have inside of you and share it with the others. And I think it's easier for me to do with children than adults because I see the innocence in the child. And like you said before, it's easier for me to let that go because they're a kid. But I think with adults, it's harder sometimes that we carry those grudges and we do tend to live in the past and the present, and I'm sorry, the past and the future instead of the present. So I think that's very valuable.
I will give a key for that, Melissa. Measurement. Melissa, the person, how she is, friendliness, kindness, consideration, all those qualities that she has, they cannot be measured. Qualitatively, it is there, right? Then you cannot hide it, it will come out. I can feel the, your kind of consideration for me without you telling me, right? So what it is this calculating mind is the one takes us away from our original loving self.
That's good. Your calculating mind takes you away from your loving self.
So that's what you are doing with the adults. You are allowing, because you may be having experience of bad experience where you want to be cautious, you want to see these people are not good. That is all calculation. That is not being vulnerable. But once you are like that, the heartfulness comes through. You may not make much money, like I don't know, but then that's okay. You have the inner richness.
That's good. Yeah, I think that a lot of times, I'll speak for myself, I have an armor that I carry around from past traumas and hurts. And when I have that armor in place, then that's that calculating mind that's not letting the loving self come through. I like that.
Yeah. There is an example for this. I usually quote them is a deer coming to our backyard. And you are there with the grass giving it to it. And it will come and then feels safe because you don't have the vibration of fear or anything. And it will come and eat. But when it comes, sometimes somebody tries to shoot it. Then it will lose not only the trust in that particular person, but every person. The same thing we do to each other. Right? So people are kind of fearful of they may lose something, or fearful of they may not acquire something. So what is that? That's a measuring mind. Even meditation has come from this. When you have a mind that is constantly acting and going different directions, that's when you want to meditate and bring it together. But if you are in the heart, your mind is already silent. So you don't need meditation if you are heartful. Manini, remember I talked to you about Dhimahi in the Gayatri Mantra?
Yes, sir.
In that one, what we did was Dhi is the spiritual heart, Mahi is the calculating mind. So you have to use the mind for some things, I agree. But it has become like this. We are more into the mind all the time and really cover up our spiritual heart. And that comes through to your face. That is the point. Yeah. You are kind of calculating, scheming, shrewd, and all that. And all that people can make out. They feel it, at least if they can describe it, they how they say, I like that person or I don't like that person. I don't feel the vibe about him. Something about him is wrong. Especially women who have intuition quite up high up, they can sense this. What do you say, Manini? You have that intuition. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So that kind of practicing heartful in things that are not really your business will help you a lot. You want to do this by what's called random act of kindness, right? Every day, for me, my saying is this. Tell me how you think about this. A good day for me is where I have a chance of providing service to somebody else. A day of service is a good day for me. Even one time when I can open up my heart and pour it out. That's why when I come on these rooms, when I share with people and they ask me questions, that becomes really, really, not because I need that, but it makes me feel that interaction. A lot of people ask me this question: how come you stay for 2 hours, 3 hours, and go on talking like this? you know. But what happens is, like I have the feedback with Melissa now. With money, our friends are here, and then kind of that interaction. It's not messaging only; it's all information. It is our quality of interaction. What happens? Is it all making sense to you, or am I talking stuff?
No, it's making good sense, Dr. Rao.
Yeah. So that's good. I'm Pete is also responding there. I know Pete knows about what I'm talking about. So this is good in the sense. Okay. Ask me any questions regarding this. I'm talking about inner glow bringing onto your face without knowing it. What you need to understand is be in present, be in awareness of what is going on within you, not in an obsessive way, but just being aware. We could get angry. That's when, but then are you aware of it? And how quickly you are getting out of it? That is the cleaning you want to do. In the morning, when you get up and go there and laughing at yourself, imagine something silly that you got angry yesterday and laugh at it. Something is going on in your mind, like you're seething with anger, laugh at it, get it out. This is an exercise of awareness. Unique. Nobody gives you this. I have not heard. I kind of understood and developed. And then this is called Atma Gnana, self-knowledge. Knowledge of your how your mind has developed a persona that has landed up in some habits which you don't want to have. So the more simpler you are, the more human you are inside, the more glowing your face will be. Right? So if I come to you guys, I say, "Oh, I'm MD, I have this master, I have that, and all that." Would you like me? My patient also, he doesn't need all my attributes. He needs my quality of interaction with him. He wants a human being. He wants somebody who understands him. I may have technical, that's fine, but what kind of spirit I'm giving? Am I being kind of, feeling pity, compassion, empathy to what he's going through? That is more important for him. My touch of touching the patient, putting my hand on his shoulder and giving comfort, my smile, all that makes a lot of influence for him, especially when they're shaken, when they're really trembling with fear, anxiety. What's going to happen to me? Or he diagnosed me with this tremendous illness. And that's when my inner self comes out without me knowing. It's not like, oh, everybody has cancer, everybody is going to die. I heard my colleagues telling that. You're going to die in a couple of weeks. And he's a pulmonologist, he's a big deal and all that. Has no sense of humanity or humanness. And those people, he not only made them feel bad, but also made them bad because they did smoke, that's why they brought this on themselves. That all happened, but the current situation is he is dying. Let him die in peace. How are we going to restrict everything for him and then make him miserable? He already is feeling bad. Oh, if I only did to myself, I have smoked. But at this time of smoking, he didn't have the inner resolve, right? Remember this word, inner resilience. For this calculating mind, all sorts of selfish desires and all that, they make you look ugly on the face. You are going in the train, and then India train, I remember I was taking my entire family to a certain place because we were going to give my mom's, astikal, what they call astikal, that is uh, the ashes. Ashes we took it there and then mixed with our sacred river, Ganga, right? And I took my entire family in the train, and this young kid came and he was begging. And some people really acted like they don't tolerate this beggar. Yeah, get up, like that. And when they see their face at the time, so ugly, they want to retain their money, they don't want to give it, and this person is coming in begging, and maybe his circumstances are different, whatever it is. But the way they said no differed, and I was watching, some people are so ugly because they're so selfish and they have so much loathing about this beggar. But some people are kind and they give a couple of kinds. Some people are polite, they go on, move on, like that. So it is the inner self that comes through that you can use on your facial. Is this stretching far-fetched or does it make sense? I am going on my own. I showed you the physical, but the facial. The other physical I want to show you is how do you rub your face? Okay, so you kind of take put your index finger flat on the middle of the forehead like this, and then rub it like this all the way. Go down, like you can do 10 times if you have time. Other thing is put it on the bridge of the face and then run it like that. Okay, on the underneath the eyes, go laterally to the side like that. Okay, and on the upper lip, going like this, and lower lip going like this. And then you can put on the cheeks like this and rub it down. You do that several times in the morning, you will make it loosen up your fascia. I don't do this. I'm just telling you guys, because I don't need to do any of this facial yoga. All I focus is on my inner self, right? And that's it. So maybe I'll do some speaking exercises of the mouth and all that because of the stroke. Like that's how I got my speech back. Even now there's a remnant of when you're swallowing something and all that. That's why I kind of want to keep it. My speech is clear, and that's why I do that Moses exercise for that. I protrude the tongue, and then I kind of do the tongue around the mouth. All those things I do. Okay, but generally this rubbing, you do it slowly with focus. Don't think something else. Just be aware of what you're doing. Just be aware of the touch of your fingers and the pressure you feel and the tension you feel in the nostrils. That will go. And the other thing you could do is acupressure yoga. Here, you can take the one finger and then press the spots, and they will really press and release. They will really show you where the tender parts are. You can do the palms of the balls of the palms and then press on the temples, on the forehead, on the high cheeks, everywhere. That is very good for you. I'm not really focusing on the physical yoga part of the facial because that's really known to a lot of people. But if you do according to the meridians, the prana nadis, the energy will be distributed better. Okay? But I was focusing more on the inner yoga you do. Basically, yoga is transcending your mind, especially the egoic mind, and landing yourself, your inner presence. Persona changes. You may be kind person today, tomorrow you may be a dastardly person, cruel person. But that inner self doesn't change. Okay? So usually that's how we look at it. Is something present or not? That means, is it going to stay there? Is it permanent or temporary? That's one thing we look at. Then, is it changing or not changing? Is it awake or not? These are the criteria we use to what is permanent, what is really awakened with the consciousness, and what is it that is going to be there forever. All those things we kind of look at it and they say, okay, we don't want to hang on to the temporary, we don't want to hang on to the something that is not alive, that is dead. uh, Memories are like that, projections are like that. But when you put them in the actual present, then they become the life. You can engage in recollecting a past experience, but don't go and live it there. Understand the past, understand the lesson you have learned from it, and then implement in the present. That's okay. But psychologically, emotionally, going and living in the past, like suppose something, I say something hurt you, and you're holding on to that hurt and then living that again and again, that is the problem. That's why present moment awareness, what is happening here, is important. If you look at that way, what's happening here, what does it come to you? Are you thinking something that happened in the past? Or are you projecting into the future with some plan? Or are you aware of what is happening here and you're happy with it, you are enjoying it, celebrating it? Like you guys are here, and I'm trying to be with you and be with the subject that we wanted to discuss. But if I'm thinking something else, then this is my patient care too. Whoever is in front of me is a patient is most important. That is his time. So I have to really shut my mind in the past and the future and listen to him. That's why they kind of love it, because they know the quality of listening that I bring it. They know that I'm listening to them, everything that they're telling me. I may react with some questions later, but they know I am not only intellectually, emotionally available to them. What do you say, Janet? Janet does this. That's why I'm asking her. I think she's off, maybe. No.
May I ask you a question, Dr.
Yeah.
Rao? You said something and I was trying to write it down and then my thought went and I didn't get the rest of it. You said yoga is transcending, but then I lost what you
Ego.
said. It's transcending.
Transcending ego.
Okay.
Transcending persona and really establishing in your awareness. That awareness is universal awareness. Everybody has the awareness. Realizing that we are that infinite awareness, that is yoga. Mind runs, mind thinks, but don't get caught in that and lose the faculty of awareness. Awareness is like something like awake, alert, but thoughtless. Choicelessly, you are aware. Whether you want it or not, you are aware. You are aware and you are awake, you are alert. Right? People take it that for granted and don't stay there.
I'm back, Dr. Rao. I apologize. My husband brought me breakfast and I had to eat my grits before they got cold.
That's okay, no problem. But I was asking about this. Did you hear what I said?
I did.
Hmm. How do you? Yeah. How do you treat the past? How do you treat the present? How do you treat the future? That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned this. The thoughts come in and of the past, or what's going to happen next, and I can't worry about that anymore. I'm spending my time on the pleasant things that are in my life, and that's where I go when that stuff starts crowding in, when politics starts crowding in on my mind.
Yeah,
I just I switch it off.
Yeah.
Literally turn off the TV, literally turn off the radio, whatever.
News is also to make us more aware of what's going on, not to react to emotionally, but be aware. Okay, what's happening with the wars? What's happening with the weather? What's happening with the economy? All those things are practical things we should be aware of it. But if you are engaging with your opinion, with emotional reaction and all that, that's going to be detrimental for you, because most of them, they try to report the negative news. Right? So a lot of people have problems with that. They consult me on this. They say, well, how do you deal with this government actions? How do you deal with it, all that? So fortunately, I'm in touch with what's going on economically, technologically, all that. So I can really take, you see, like healthcare wise, they are destroyed NIH, CDC, which we took it for granted before. Now, a lot of research, a lot of endemics, they're all prevented before. All that work, people don't realize that. The scientists and everybody, they cut down all these things as though they are mechanical cars or somebody. A car maker, how can he know about the healthcare, really? Mechanical mind, you see, technologically brilliant, but still a mechanical mind. That's why he could say, I'm going to chop off all the jobs with a saw, and demonstrating that a cruel activity like it is a joke. So these kind of things are worsening our suffering much more. See, there is a method to do everything, not like if you want to save waste and all that, yeah, there is a method, but you don't have to put people into trouble to do that. You got to prepare them. You got to help them to establish themselves in some other way. That is why giving so much importance to the mind and the calculating mind has led to the so much of trouble for everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
That's why I always talk about servant leadership in everywhere. You are a leader in the house. Are you being servant to the needs of others? And that kind of actually that kind of consideration for other people makes you much more beautiful inside, and that beauty comes onto your face. You may think we're saying the same point, but that is it. It's how calm you can keep your mind, how generous you can keep your mind, how empathetic you can keep your mind without really emotionally reacting yourself. Right? Then,
I call it back porch therapy.
yeah,
I go sit on my back porch and commune with nature. I sat out there this morning and saw a deer,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and that's how I escape from what the realities of this world.
yeah. The way it is going towards that is like the planet is going to blow up, and these people are concerned about the very little things. So
Yeah,
uh, so anybody has any other questions or comments? Anything that you want me to talk about?
I do.
Yeah.
Dr. Rao,
Yeah.
okay, go on, go on.
No, you go
Okay,
ahead.
go on.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. I
Money.
have a
That's
question,
fine.
Dr.
Yeah.
Rao.
Yeah. Come on the camera. Why are you hiding?
I do. I just like I'm out.
Okay. Don't worry. Yeah. Go ahead. Give me the question.
Yeah, I have a question like, see, as you told about the facial yogas, I think we also should consider the food what we eat.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the food we eat is also reflects on the body, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just want to know about that also.
Definitely, because that is fundamental, though. Because if you eat very heavy food, for example, a lot of potatoes, a lot of rice, a lot of heavy food, like well, the stomach feels that is filled. That's why it sends you the satiety symptom, which usually takes 20 minutes for it to come on, right? And then alertness alertness kind of dims, doesn't really go down. So suppose you have eaten a large meal at the afternoon, you have splanchnic blood flow, because that is where it is demanded, right? You have a lot of food there. Blood supply to the brain doesn't stop, it always is the same, right? But the awareness goes down because it perceives this gut brain connection where so much of your food is there. And now, if you are doing this quite often, you become dull and not really active, and that shows on your face, right? Other way it is suppose you are eating too many chilies and your mood is running. That is the vata, that is the rajas qualities, right? And you will be irritable with a small thing. It's a good point, Manini. I didn't forget, but I thought it is taken for granted.
Yes.
Now comes the
Yes, we
question.
do sometimes.
You ask you the question, I'm going to ask you this question. How is your food? Is it tamasic, rajasic, or sattvic?
To be honest, we eat lots of spices.
Yeah, rajasic. That makes you
Yes.
to run your mind faster. And that can lead to, suppose you are making puris, right? Puri comes and kind of irks you, irritates you. She told me she does, right? When you do that, you kind of get nicely irritated, right? That means your capacity to not to irritate has gone down. Even though the person who came is the most loving for you. That is the effect of the food.
Mm,
See, our tolerance to not to be irritated goes down with the food also.
correct.
So definitely that even the suppose you eat lot of fatty food, Panini, and then fat accumulates in the facial muscles also. right? So they have this double chin and all much quicker, and then so lot of tonality of the face goes down.
Mm-hmm.
You remember these actresses, what they do? And they came, they are young, they are not really that rich, they don't have that much to eat, but still, they look, the glow on their face is beautiful because they are in a protected atmosphere. They feel like they're safe and they feel like they are taken care of, even though they're eating only, very limited food, not really nutritious food, they can't afford it. But then once they become successful, they can have very big nutrition. But they also have these psychological problems of success, dealing with people and all that, money and everything. Then their inner stress goes up very much. Even though they have big houses, big thing and all that, they have to really have some crutch to keep their mental sanity. And then they develop this complex, I have to look good. My job is to be beautiful. And then they go and do this cosmetic surgery and all that, plastic surgery and all that. Look at Michael Jordan, not Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, the singer. He had so many times surgery done on his face to the degree he kind of spoiled it because of the inner derangement, inner identification of external beauty as him. He should appear young. He should appear like really glowing and all that. Initially, it may appear to be working, but it will get because surgery means you can provoke a lot of things, right? So you got it?
Yes, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the nutrition is important, but is important in understanding the um, trigunas of the food because you are made up of trigunas. Your job is to go beyond triguna, that is tamas, rajas, and sattvic also. You got to go beyond those qualities. These qualities are quantified or amplified by the diet. That's why you want to eat green, leafy, or nice fruits and all that, fresh, seasonal. And that has this vital energy that comes as a glow in your face eventually. See, when you eat sattvic food, you feel lighter in your stomach, right? And that lightness of being comes through the face. Is that too complicated, or is there something makes sense?
Both.
It makes sense.
Yeah. See, it's a kind of you get to it once you understand how you feel when you eat light, for example, right? And you are used to eating light at night and you are able to sleep okay. But a lot of people cannot sleep unless they have a heavy food in them at night time. That is feeding all this tamas, rajas into the system, which are not good for us because you are going either that way or this way, extremes. Tamasic means you are slowing down the metabolism and accumulating fat and all that. Rajasic means you are overextending the metabolism and that running puts the system out of order. Rajasic means you think too much, you eat too much, not too much in the sense too bad things, too many bad things, and then you will be running to the bathroom too much. All everything is accelerated, right? I think this is a very good thing, Manini, you asked because by changing the qualities of diet according to your um, families, whoever has whatever qualities, suppose somebody has pitta dominance, and then they don't recognize, they give them all these heavy foods, chapatis or rice and all that is a staple in India. And a lot of people go out of whack in that. And then they have this fat all over and then obesity and all that. This is common knowledge for people who are in understanding Ayurveda. yoga, right? And then you can properly use those systems to make yourself body mind awareness. And the body is made by the food, how you eat, and face is part of the body, and then it is influenced by the diet. That is fundamental, right? But it's a good thing that you reminded that, so that we can assess the food, what is good for us. If you are eating vegetables and fresh fruit, fresh from the tree, you will be very light. You will be very light, right?
Just want to go for a walk.
but then she wants to buy the diamond.
Okay.
So I have a question, but I'm not sure how to frame that.
Take a break and pray it and come back.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead, Rashmi.
I'm trying my best. I try to be operating from the heart. Some few years back, and then I was looked upon by the people like very gullible. And then I became what like for all the manipulators.
Yeah.
People started to manipulate.
That's
and
it.
I lost my stability because I always felt I'm doing for my conscious. I have no self-care, no guilt feeling because I'm radiating with love. With all, but why I become susceptible for that gullible nature? Why am I projecting a gullible
It
nature?
is common to all of us, the same thing, Sharmi.
Yes, sir.
It's the same
And then
thing. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Then I try to change, but that is not me. I can't change.
No, it's not the change.
Yeah.
It's can go back to who you are.
Okay.
See, you allowed these things, the outward things influence you, public opinion, you always worry about other people. We are all like that. But why do we have to? See, when I pick on Manini, pick on Janet, pick on Melissa, they're all my close friends.
Mm.
I have had so many talks with them apart from this. That's why I know. And also, what did I say? Park your ego at the door. That means we are all engaged in seeking truths about our inner reality, and we don't want to be our ego coming in the place where we don't learn anything. It is the ego that gets hurt, the ego that is kind of trying to protect from the other people's opinion, gullible and all that. Let them think whatever. It's not the mind we're going to relate. How many people think I'm what it is not my business? Being in my inward self is my business. That is being heartful. That is being understanding what is the power of mind. Don't allow it to dominate you. So being in the presence, not in the persona. Sharmi, just remember that. Always question yourself. Am I being in the persona I created, which is actually my shadow, which is not me, or am I in the present here now? When you are present, when you know your mental reactions, emotional reactions, and watch them like objects. Usually people fall for the emotion, fall for the feelings and all that right away, and then they are lost.
Yes. It was like, yes.
Yeah. Take a deep breath. Come to the present moment and look with that presence. That's why I want you to start morning awareness. All day attention of that awareness. And then at the night, clean it up. You are not the only one who accumulated all this for years. Everybody does that. But the only thing is some people get it and clean it faster. Some people go back to it again and again. So, no, don't remember anything. Just remember this. Am I in my presence, which is heartful nature of mine, or am I in the persona built by my thought as ego, as my shadow? Lots of times people don't even realize that they have built it up so strong, and they can, that who is getting hurt, who is feeling that other people are thinking I'm gullible, ego.
it's yeah.
That's it. It's all the same. This understand this mechanism is not unique to you, unique to me. We all are in the same boat. Remember this story. We are born with a spiritual heart. That is us, right? From the spiritual heart, mind grows up to guide us for physical things. But when you think that second mind that has come up is the one that you are identifying with it, then you lost the heart.
Um,
That's
yes,
why the
also
spiritual journey is getting back the mind into the heart. Dhi Mahi. Dhi is the spiritual, Mahi is mind. You're getting the mind into the spiritual heart. That means you are not reacting, but you are using the mind to respond to things. And don't carry any emotional things on. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Don't think that you understand, you get it. No. You live it, then you got it. Don't think about it. Don't think like I'm going to get it from a book. I'm going to get it from somebody's teaching or not. You
experience it.
you got to do it yourself. Then you get it. Like a laughter yoga, I told you, go and do it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the mechanics, but then you can feel the emotions, everything coming up nicely, and then you really feel endorphins coming and all that. Then you feel good about laughing. You don't feel like silliness or anything.
Yeah.
Park your ego when you come to my rooms at the door.
Sure.
Everybody, me too, everybody.
Yeah.
We are here to seek something spiritual, not regard to any religion, but according to the wisdom of religions, and then transcend our ego.
Yeah.
Then you go lighter,
Yes.
your own weight. You built up that weight with your mechanical thinking, and now you are awake. Awake to our inner source of real strength.
Yes.
Janet, you got it?
I
She,
do.
yeah, she's always asking me about the spiritual quest. This is the spiritual quest, Janet.
Yes, it is. I am on it.
Yes.
I am on that, and I've come a long way.
Yeah. Actually, I established a fellowship for this. I'm going to enroll on this, and then when I'm doing this, you will know. Okay?
Okay.
Because you asked me that question, what is the spiritual quest? How do you get on that? It's not a method, it's a kind of how you live. Like I said, this meeting, park your ego at the park. That is a lively thing you do. I may say the word, but you have to do it. If you say, I don't care, I'm going to keep my ego, I can do anything about it. See, spiritual matters are always deeply, deeply personal. What
Yes.
you are, where you are, at what journey is up to you. See, that's why they said the real teacher is one who kind of throws a light on the path you are supposed to walk by yourself. That means you are supposed to think for yourself and feel for yourself and walk on that path. That means in the real life, you have to be doing those. That is the walking. And then
It is
you will know.
important that we take time every day to be with ourselves.
Every moment. Every moment. Then if you do it often, and you'll come back to that journey. Don't have to put yourself under any pressure. Don't compare yourself to anybody, either superior or inferior. Your journey is your journey. Don't have to measure up to anybody's standards. So that's what Ramana Maharshi said. I think this is a good thing. I can quote it here. You take gunpowder, you light it up, it lights like that. Some advanced spiritual people are like that. Or you take coal, you got to pour some kerosene and put the light. You take a log that is in the water, then it will take forever. So people are like that. We don't have to judge them by looking at it. I can see them where they are right away. But I don't judge the persona, right? I go to the being. You may have a, mind that is going all over, or you may have something like that. But I don't look at that. I look at the being having a disorderment, which is most of the people are. But on top of it, this feeling, I should be appearing nice to everybody. Nobody really cares. It's only our feeling. I'm vulnerable. Who is talking that? Your ego. But if you are not your ego, where is the problem? You are cured yourself when you can identify your presence and stay there. That is the difficulty. Because, I told you also, what happens is these unconscious thoughts that you have done for a long time, which we all did, they formed their own pathways. They are coming up and reacting without you knowing. That is called samskaras, vasanas. So what you want to do is be aware everything. This is the exercise. Focus on the breath. Something comes up, then bring the focus to the breath. Like that. Focus on the presence, be in the present, and it goes away, thinks about all those things, all those memories, all those feelings, all those reactions that are coming, then go back to the presence. That is the exercise of awareness I'm talking about all the time. If you don't get it, you can do it. But if you don't do it, you don't have the transformation. You will suffer under the ego. But this way, you got shed of all that weight, then you feel light in your being. I talked to different friends of mine in different stages, this is many times, but still comes up. The same thing comes up. That's okay.
The external stimulus, we will have to
say what it is, Sharmi. Don't think of changing people and all that. All you do is, am I there or not?
Exactly. Let's not blame, and we should be strong enough to face the external.
Not even strong enough. Just identify who you are.
You are, yeah, identifying who we are.
Yeah, you get the strength by practicing in real life.
Yeah.
Not by talking about it, not by making statements or books writing, none of that. You don't need all of that. Just stay in yourself. That's why that Bhimahi, understand that, then on your face, that inner clarity you have, the inner lightness you have, the inner smile you have, irrespective of what are the outward conditions, it will come through. You remember I was telling the story of this sadhu who has only a loin cloth, and he was playing happily with a broad smile on his face with the kids at the gate of a palace. And in the portico or somewhere upstairs, the king is standing there and looking at this person. And then he is laden with responsibilities, constant thinking, worries, and somebody may come and attack me. All that he was talking about. Maybe there's a coup in this one, somebody may take me away as the king. So he was very surprised. This man has such a broad smile. You can see that in the India, if you go to the far corners of villages, you will see this young kids, they have the broad, they don't have anything in their life, but they have the broadest smiles. People did research on this too, but then this king walks to the person at the gate and asks him, hey, I have so much property, so many people are there to protect me, so much of army, so much of money in my treasure and all that. But I feel miserable. You don't seem to have your proper clothes, and you are smiling and playing with it. Then he said, King, the answer is in what you said. Tell me, what is the answer there? I'm putting on spot, Sharmi. Don't take it personally, but I just want to.
No problem. Can you Can you just
What
repeat
is the
that?
answer? The man said the answer is in your question.
Because he doesn't have anything.
Yeah,
To
but
carry
no,
the
no.
weight.
The answer for the king misery is he has things.
He has the things. Okay.
The same
His
thing.
attachment.
Same thing. You said the other way, but the same thing. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
What it is because I don't have to worry about the things. I don't have to worry about acquiring them, keeping them, protecting them, or fearing. Some people feeling. All that is not there in my mind. That is what is called vairagya.
Vairagya. Okay.
So one thing is, if you want worldly life, fine, go ahead and have it, enjoy it, and all that. But if you are tired of that, and then you want to find some peace, like my friend Janet, she is elderly like me, and she has lived the life, and she has enjoyed herself, and now she wants to find peace in the spiritual chaos. Then she can throw away these things. It doesn't mean that much. That feeling of detachment to the things is called vairagya. See, modern people is neo people. What they do is they want good outward life and good inward life. That
You
doesn't
can have
happen.
both.
That doesn't happen. So you can have a good outward life and come back to spirituality after discarding that. But
Yeah.
people don't do that. What they do is so many people come and learn things from me, like breathing or meditation, whatever, and they go and do business with it. But why I taught them is so that they will have personal transformation.
Mm.
Leave alone other people, Sharmi. Focus on yourself. Not so selfish. It is that state where you can do that.
Yes.
Again, you are money making and you are all that, then you are inverting your own problems.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't need money, it's that you don't have attachment to the money.
Correct. Yeah, there is.
Common things are no, but it is the greed. It is the psychological problem with the money. That is the problem.
Yeah.
You can make
So
money, give it away if you don't need it, or build some institution that will help a lot of people. But it is your own attachment. That means you are not liberated from that. But once you are liberated, you can do all the things. You can make money, but then you can use it, or you can give it to somebody else, but you don't have that need. You have to be happy only when you are having money. No.
Yeah.
That is what I want you guys to discover with my association is you travel inward. You find joy, happiness, and peace within, not out there. If you think it's out there, go ahead, find it.
No. Yeah. It's the inner richness.
That's it.
Yeah.
I have an
So like
example of this.
Yeah.
I started cleaning out closets, and my sewing
Right.
room. I've been going through boxes and
Let
getting
it
rid
in.
of stuff and giving away stuff. So
Yeah.
it's working. It's
Yeah.
working, Dr. Rao.
Yeah, it does work because
It starts small.
what is inward is lightness. So you can start outwardly. See, we feel very good when we are really cleaned up stuff. Like Janet was saying, all the stuff we don't need it, we can give it for somebody away, or we do that too. Otherwise, this accumulation really gets to us.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good thing for the world too.
I was holding on to my clothes from
Yeah.
when I was a professional. All of my business suits and jackets and all that.
Yeah.
And I've decided I'm going to give that to the women's shelter
Exactly.
for the women to be able to go out and look for jobs and stuff. To have the clothes for it.
They will be given to somebody after we are gone anyway. Why don't we do it now?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Why leave it to the kids, right?
Yeah.
And giving is sharing happiness.
No, there's other benefit, Sharmi. What happens is when you discard outward weight, your inner weight goes down too. Because you don't have to protect them, you don't have to worry about them. All that goes away.
So to some extent, it helps in
Yeah,
the.
it does help, but then you have to work at it, at your attachment to them, your feeling of
Yeah.
having a lot of things and all. That is one of the problems of the modern life is we kind of waste a lot.
Yeah. Many, nowadays, it is turning towards
Yeah,
minimalistic
and
lifestyle.
also we make external living such a big deal. I will tell you a secret why the West is the way it is. West has this sensory indulgence,
Oh,
and
yeah,
that
correct.
that they think is the only pleasure. And now Indians also pick up like that.
Yeah, buying the car, the best shoes,
Yeah,
the
and
best
I mean
sunglasses.
they don't really value the simple life anymore,
Mm,
and they don't value with outward simple life how much inward higher life is happening, and that is the key of that is the treasure that a human being can aspire to.
mm.
But the
We are confronting.
hard work,
Yeah, it
because
is hard work
yeah,
because we are outsourcing our happiness in all
yeah,
these materials.
exactly. That is the crux of it, because you are looking outward, really not knowing what is inward potential.
Yeah,
Right now, you guys only hear it and you say, "Oh, it could happen," but it is not available to you. You think no. What is available is hidden by your this desires.
these external. Yeah,
Desire, because
yeah,
you see
yeah,
people are told that's a good life, that is the way to live, but then there's only pleasure that will go away after a while.
yeah. Very true. Because that is
Mm.
temporary. That is
Another word for you to remember, you
mm,
do stuff for shreyas, not prayas.
yeah.
Do you
I agree
understand
to
what they are, shreyas and prayas?
that. I seem to have a little memory problem,
No,
doctor. I
if you
don't
know
know
it, know
why.
it, otherwise no, tell me, you
No,
know it or
it's
not?
fine. I was there in the class, but I forgot the
No,
Shreyas name.
that's okay. That's okay. What it is prayers is instant gratification,
Okay.
immediate pleasures. Everything, all the pleasures are really there. They drag you out, the senses and everything.
Mm,
But prayers is for the long-term good. Suppose you have a mind that's not disturbed, that is peaceful. That's a long-term gain. See, you got to evaluate that in presence when things present to you.
okay. Instant gratification, or it is the long term
Long-term.
yeah,
Yeah. You want to
satisfaction.
go for instant gratification, for example, you post something,
Mm,
10 people come and like it.
mm.
Then you allow yourself to inflate.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
people like me. Oh, I'm such a big deal. That is false, because another 11th person can say you are nothing, you are.
Put it down.
Yeah. Then the whole thing goes down. That's why ego. Don't allow it to grow.
Okay. So, may I add one word here? I remember you were talking about continuous medical education, like same similar thing you wanted to do for us. I
No,
just
no.
wanted to share
Continuous mind body education.
mind body education for here. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
CME for the medical, CMB
yeah,
for this.
this
Yeah.
one is different. Yeah, the same pattern. Why consistency and the continuous is important is I've been there sitting for your session, but still it takes some time to process. And if there is no continuity, it gets lost to get the complete transformation. And I'm really grateful that continuous session is adding
Just keep
little.
on attending, that's all.
Yes, yeah. It has to be continuous. That's what I
But
meant.
you know, when
It
you
is
come
the
here,
consistency.
for your own sake,
Mm,
come here without that ego and participate in the spiritual quest. You see, I'm no different from Janet, no different
mm,
from my wife Dharani, and no different
yeah.
from Manini. We're all in the same boat. But the thing is, I may be firmly placed in that.
Mm,
That's the only reason. Okay. So, like, for example, you and me are in the same room, it's quite dark. And we know in that far corner there's a switch, I can put it on, we can get light.
Okay.
I may be closer to the light, you may be in the back. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. We are
So the journey is, I have a shorter journey, you have a longer journey. But remember that fire, gunpowder versus log and coal. So we cannot deny that. We are like that. We have to realize that.
Yeah.
If you have ego, it's much harder to realize that. So when you come here, say, this problem is not unique. Everybody else's problem. What Dr. Rao is trying to do is point out the problems a human being does. It's not individual. Your consciousness is not yours. It is the consciousness. Your crying is not your crying. Everybody cries like that. Your fear is not individual fear. Everybody has the same taste of fear.
It's a collective.
No, it's not. It's a universal thing.
Yeah.
So when you make it your personal and you feel like he's pointing out to me, that is false. That's not your problem. You may be like I used money, I used Melissa, I used Janet and all that, not with any personal thing. It's about we all are aware that we are here trying to explore human problems and thereby being aware of it and then not going through the suffering. See, my own thing is suffering.
Mhm.
People can be suffering from the diabetes, or people can be having a diabetes and then mentally they are so good they can reverse it by telling them what to do. So it all depends on that. But if you say nothing should happen, but at the same time you are allowing things to go on happening, things will happen. So take responsibility for the way your mind is right now. Take responsibility to really say, mind is not me. That can go on, whatever they, but I have to be in that inner blissful being. And if you are not there, then you got to work at it, work at it, work at it. This is, remember this, exercise in awareness. That means you are in the present in the morning, and later on you are koya, you are thinking about something and you allow it to happen. Then you are come back to present. Remember this, very simple thing. Put a flower, the same flower, like a mom, yellow flower, around the computer or a rose, whatever it is, and put it around the refrigerator, the places where you frequent, morning till evening. Okay? When you go there, associate the flower with the presence to bring you back from whatever thinking to this. And do this all day. Wherever you are, you should be working fine, but then you should take. I think this is exercise for everybody.
Sir, can you repeat it, please?
Yeah. Put a flower.
Everywhere, wherever
That
you
flower should remind you you should be in the present.
In fact, I thought I put a photo of myself because most of the time.
No, that becomes self-centered.
Oh, okay, sir.
You want something natural, something not your ego. You're going to reinforce your ego like that.
Mm.
Not the persona, but the presence.
Okay.
Very hard for a lot of people, I know. But if you really want to spiritually realized, this is one way to go about it. But you have to understand a lot more. So many understand, but few realize.
So in life, it is never about the other person, right? How they treat us, how they react to us.
It is about other person in the sense they are us.
It's our shadow, what we see.
No, not shadow. We are all one at that consciousness level. That is the oneness. You think you are separate, but actually you are not. Your body, your mind, and all those things are separate. You know, other thing that happens is when you have oneness, you don't have separation, you have no loneliness.
Yeah.
You don't have to protect yourself from something. You don't really hurt about somebody thinking about you something. No, it doesn't matter. Because that is only thinking, it's not reality. It's very difficult for people to understand. Especially when you allowed yourself to be influenced by the thinking for so many years, It's very difficult.
Yes, we think that by thinking or analyzing or by updating our knowledge, we'll find solutions. This was a
Yeah, knowledge is updated.
we were
Knowledge is
yeah,
updated, but not you.
yeah. Exactly. It's beyond that. Yeah. We were
Just because
conditioned.
I understand certain things, I am not different than any other human being.
Yes, sir.
Einstein said this. Einstein said, you know what he said? I don't know what the big deal people are making me out. I only discovered somebody created.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at that.
How humble.
So how much knowledge you have to say, oh, I'm knowledgeable, right?
Ego gets.
That's it. That's it. Everybody is like, so there you are identifying with something you are not. You are not the knowledge. You have the knowledge. That's a property of you. But you are not that.
Yeah. Very, very true.
You know what I have because of this? Clarity. I am not taken away by everybody's accolades or insults, whatever. I kind of not fooled by my own thinking that I'm something else. So there is something I repeat so many times. Ramana Maharshi said, one's attention has always to be poised on one's inner self.
Okay.
But your attention is always on the ego and the thought, then they bother you. This is my awareness exercise. I come back to the what I am really with that repeatedly. Anybody is there? Mani, what do you say about this? Because I was talking to her about the other day. Manini, are you there or gone? Maybe you're gone. It's too long, probably. So, what is the time right now? Okay, it's almost 11 o'clock. Okay. Okay, guys. I think we talked on the facial. Any questions on the facial yoga? Anybody?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What can I do about this double chin?
Yeah. You remember that platysma exercise? Kind of what you do is you kind of clench your teeth and pull up the jaws like that. Platysma muscle, you already allowed it to sag quite a bit, but you can attempt to do it. Some of it will not be reversed, it will go down a little bit.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah. And that, you do that exercise. You look at me, Janet, pick up the neck muscles, zygomatic muscles, clench it, and then pull it up.
Yeah.
You are not getting it. Yeah. See, you can see the platysma muscle. Look at I think my collar is covering it up, but you pick it up. Okay?
You can expand it here.
Janet, I will send you an instruction sheet. Use that. Okay?
So for me also.
Yeah. So I'll
Please
put
send
it on our WhatsApp group. Then everybody can see that if they want. Okay.
Is there anything for this forehead lines which is starting?
Yeah, we talked. Don't be irritated. Don't be squinting, and also elevate the frontalis muscle up and down. That's what I told them.
With hands.
No.
Yeah.
Raise the eyebrows like up and down. Yeah, I think very beginning we showed that. Maybe you're not there actually.
Yeah, I missed.
That's the one you do. Okay, and also rubbing the hands like this several times will also help the tone of the. See, I don't have much there. See?
No, you don't.
Yeah. Oh, you're still here, Melissa. Any questions, Melissa?
Yes, Dr. Rao, I always have questions.
Sure.
So I was taking notes. So I know you said you would get up first, wash your face before doing that breath work where we're reminding ourselves we're not our thoughts, we're not our body.
Yeah.
Then you talked about looking in the mirror. So is my question, I know I don't want to repeat everything you said, is there a certain sequence that we need to follow?
No,
when we're
just
doing these things?
get up and establish yourself in the presence by taking the breaths.
Yeah.
The breaths cut down the thoughts if there are any, and also sensation of breath keeps you grounded to the present, right? And then in that presence, don't think anything else. Just do this laughter yoga. As you
Okay.
begin to laugh, your mind will be quiet. And then you will enjoy that. And then so many hormones are secreted by the act of laughter and movement and breathing and all that, And then try to establish yourself in the present moment awareness, not in thought. Okay. And if you should get some thought, observe them as objects.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Sir, I'm
finish it completely. Finish it a thought and then go into whatever you are doing. You use the thought. You have an assignment. You have to correct it. You got to evaluate it. You got to understand the right answer or not. Then give the marks and then tick it. You are using thought for that. And after that is done, finish it off. Don't go on repeating like, oh, that kid used to be so good. He's doing a mess of a job. None of that. You have
sir, when such
taken.
things
Yeah.
happens,
Mm.
when in between unnecessarily my brain is thinking without my knowledge, I try to breathe to do the breathing exercise. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's what we should do. Let me finish with Melissa's question. So, Melissa, you want to be in that present moment awareness and then go from there. You understand?
So you're saying like once I'm in the present moment awareness where I'm in that, not, in the thought, I'm just there, then do those exercises that you were
Yeah.
talking
You
about.
can, you can
with
do the
eyes
exercises,
and
but
stuff?
when you're doing that with awareness, is much better. Like, for example, you kind of stand there and put your both fingers like this, and then you're focused on the touch, on the squeezing of that. So what it is, they call that mindfully. I call that awareness.
Okay.
See, awareness is the implications where there is no thought. You are just awake to the present moment. You are doing those sequences. You are doing the frontalis muscle, orbicular oculi, orbicular oris, zygomatic, and then platysma. These are the muscle groups you want to do. Because that is the knowledge, medical anatomical knowledge we are bringing it in. But we also bring the knowledge of meridians. We bring knowledge of how to do that. And you're doing that, maybe do 5 times. Don't think something and do this. Whatever you do, Melissa, complete attention to it. So
Okay.
what happens is we may remember something, we may have bad news or something, that our emotions are raked up and we get carried away with that. What a mature person does is he will react emotionally fine, but bring it back quickly.
Okay.
That is where the spiritual maturity is, where you are established in the wisdom continuously. It's not an understanding when Dr. Rao comes and talks about it, having a glimpse of it, and then going back to the same old life. How you engage your thought and come back to it, that becomes very healthy for you. You are using thought appropriately, but not engage it for inner matters. Outward, I want to drive. I need to have gas in there. I do have proper light. I do have the wipers wiped off, everything. So that the vision is there, direction is there. I'm paying attention to the road and all. That is when you use the thought. You don't sit down and say, I am going to drive no matter what obstacle. You don't do that. But you are aware. Don't get caught in something that is not related to the activity. That is the proper way to use thought. Then you know what happens? You will sleep very well at night time. You don't have anything to deal with. That's why mind gets all the detox that it needs. Oh, by the way, Melissa, 26th on the OBN, the Open Business Network on Clubhouse, I'm doing this major lecture on sleep. Why I'm saying major is because I want to put my heart into it so that people can get the essence of it. And after, if they listen and they participate, that they will be thanking me for their life.
Will you send me a reminder, Dr. Rao?
No, I'm not going to.
Like you did before?
No, I'm not going to. Just look it up and come.
The 26th, you said. Okay.
That is Sunday night for us, Melissa.
Okay.
So we say Monday morning they do these lectures there. That 6:30 morning means 8 p.m. for us Sunday, because they are 11 and a half hours ahead of us. So remember like that, Sunday night, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Clubhouse OBN. Because everybody I tell them, they want me to remind, as though I have a lot of time and energy. I don't promote myself, so I can.
No. I'm writing it down. That's
Yeah.
I have to. I forget everything.
That's fine.
Dr. Al.
What I'm saying is, you will like it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You like it, and then that is replayed too. So if you cannot make it, go and listen to the replay. You know, the essential thing is you get what is the message there and implement that. I'm sure as a teacher, you'll have a lot of stuff in your mind. I will show you how to clean that up before you go to sleep, both positive and negative. And
I remember you telling me the one time and how powerful it was. And it seems very simple, but it never occurred.
But it depends upon
it
depends upon how you have done to your brain over the years, right? So and also how sincerely you are doing it every day. The point is, don't expect this to happen within a month or 2 months and all. Keep on doing it. Then you will see what you have done to your mind, and that's all gone. Actually, how much mind I'm using now? See, these 2 hours I'm completely involved with you guys, right? I was telling you guys and all that. But the moment this is over, I drop it. That is called present moment awareness. Establish yourself in that and do stuff and come back to it. It's like you are on the shade of the tree because it's hot out there. And you come back to the shade all the time. You may venture out for some job you have to do, but you come back to the shade. But for me, the shade is all the time established. That is the grace, that is the privilege, that is the thing that I am enjoying. Then I can come and talk to friends like you. But lots of times people don't have the time or energy to listen to this. Or they may listen to it, they don't want to do it because it's too tough for them. It's not. You just go by one stone at a time, little bit. Have the patience with yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. As always, I appreciate you.
That sleep thing, if you miss it, go to the OBN and the Open Business Network, right? That I go there. It's in the evening. It's easy for me to go there too. And then they seem to be appreciating what I'm saying. That's why I go there. And I made a lot of friends also. So you can come there. You have been there before. Janet, Janet, Peter, you all guys came there. So. Okay, then we will take leave for today, and I think a lot of things came out. I'm happy, so we will go from there. Okay, Janet, I will send you that Pratisma exercise routine, and then you can do that. Okay, I will I'll post it in my WhatsApp group. But Melissa, you should come to my WhatsApp group because that is. Now I have done is empowering for the entrepreneurs. There are 30 problems that entrepreneurs are going through, and I discussed the ancient wisdom for those problems. And I made a book. It's called The Sacred Strategy. That is almost in the. I was being, not paying attention to it. It should have been on the Kindle 2 weeks ago. Maybe today I will do this. So
when do you have that, Dr. Rao? When do you do your WhatsApp group?
Morning 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Sir, can I include my nephew who is just 19 years old, but he's interested in becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah, but we are now changing that to Wellness Oasis.
Yeah, the name has changed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but give him
not
that book, Sharmi, and then he can
Yeah.
always come. No problem for us. Okay.
Yeah, because these are young minds. They are so bubbling with ideas and
Yeah.
interest. Yeah, need proper guidance.
Yeah, I like young people because they are so fresh and nice, you know.
Yeah.
Manini's daughter, she's a real intelligent girl, you know. So I like talking to her, and that's very nice. Manini, are you still there? How is Purvi doing?
Okay, come. Ma'am, please.
Manini is gone. Probably it's too late for them. Probably in India. Okay, I will see you guys later. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Yeah. Janet, look for that in your email. Okay.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.